Welcome back to the channel. My name is Gordon Frayne and today we're back talking about Aerodrome Finance. As always, if you enjoy the content, please make sure to smash that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button as well, and if you want to get notified about similar videos, make sure to smash that bell notification icon so you can get notified every time we drop a new video. And don't forget to grab your free copy of The Rise of Bitcoin. It's going to be linked in the description below. It is my gift to you. Grab it while it's free and let's get into the video. So we've made previous videos on Aerodrome Finance on the channel. We've even done specific price prediction videos for Aero. You can check those out yourself. I'll make sure to link them down below or put a little bubble on the top of the screen here so you can check out the price prediction video specifically. Today we're not going to be diving into price predictions, but just once again making the case for why Aerodrome still has a lot of upside potential for this bull cycle as we continue to see more capital flowing into decentralized finance, the Ethereum ecosystem, and everything that's going on with Base. And again, we can't really talk about Aero and Aerodrome Finance without understanding Base, because Base is the network that Aerodrome operates on. Aerodrome is one of the leading decentralized exchanges on the Base network, and Base itself is a layer 2 scaling solution built by and incubated by Coinbase. So we can see how Coinbase have basically backed the build out of the Base network and the Base ecosystem. It is a layer 2 scaling solution for Ethereum. We know how the gas fees on Ethereum can get very extortionate, especially when the network gets congested. And Base as a layer 2 scaling solution, similar to the likes of Arbitrum or Polygon, is aiming to reduce fees and create a much more scalable way to interact using the Ethereum blockchain by, powering it with all of this layer 2 infrastructure. Base itself has seen a tremendous amount of growth. If we jump over to the Dune dashboard here, we can see the Base metrics and just how much we've seen the amount of growth happening on Base, particularly since 2024. We did only go live with the mainnet launch of Base in August 2023, so we're coming up on a year. It's been active and live for less than a year now, but we can really see this parabolic growth taking off here in 2024. We can see as we hit January, starting to see a very steep rise in the total addresses using Base on a daily basis. We can see the total value bridged onto Base continuing to increase again since we hit the February-March timeframe of this year. Total revenue in terms of Base daily network revenue, again, revenue increasing significantly since this March-April timeframe. So all of the on-chain metrics are looking very positive for Base and the continued growth of this layer 2 scaling solution incubated by Coinbase. And the other interesting thing about Base is the fact that Base doesn't actually have a native token associated with the network. So unlike the likes of Polygon or Arbitrum, who have their own governance token as part of the network, Base does not actually have its own native token. So again, potentially that means that we're going to see more capital flowing into protocols that are native to Base, just like Aero. It means that, potentially people who are speculating on the Base ecosystem are going to be looking for alpha in tokens and leading protocols on the network, just like Aero. Again, if we jump over to DeFi Llama, again, we can see the growth trajectory in terms of total value locked on Base and the significant amount of growth that we've seen over this period of time. We can see big rise up in TVL in March, getting up to these very high levels, above 1.76 billion, I think, around its peak. We're currently sitting at about 1.62 billion. So still some very consistent TVL here in the entire Base ecosystem since March of this year. If we look at the Base ecosystem again, we can see here that Aerodrome is the #1 protocol on the Base ecosystem in terms of total value locked. And if we jump over to Aerodrome specifically, again, we can see just how much TVL has increased on Aerodrome since the beginning of March as well in 2024. We saw this significant move upwards, getting all the way up as high as about 796 million in terms of total value locked. We're currently sitting at about 612 million in terms of TVL on the Aerodrome protocol. We're going to jump into the protocol in a moment, But again, just to set the context here, a lot of people will argue that Aerodrome is to Base what Uniswap is to Ethereum. And again, Uniswap is and was one of the biggest decentralized exchanges in the entire world, and huge amounts of TVL have been locked into Uniswap. If we jump over to Uniswap, we can see Uniswap has about 10 times as much TVL as Base. We're currently sitting at about 5.33 billion in terms of total value locked on the Uniswap protocol. Again, we saw very high TVL getting up as high as almost 10 billion here, just under the 10, actually getting up as high as 10 billion with the Uniswap protocol at the peak of the 2021 bull cycle. And we're currently sitting at 5.33 billion, again, which is about 10 times as much as what we have locked on Aerodrome at the moment. But the potential that Aerodrome has as we continue to move through this bull cycle, especially as we see more capital flowing into DeFi, Aerodrome is a beneficiary of the Ethereum ecosystem in general, given the fact that it's the number one solution on an Ethereum layer 2 scaling solution. But it also has the added benefit of the fact that Coinbase is one of the primary incubators of the entire Base ecosystem, because with Coinbase launching their Coinbase Smart Wallet and the fact that Coinbase have hundreds of millions of customers already as a leading centralized exchange, we're going to see huge amounts of capital flowing into the Coinbase Smart Wallet, with retail investors beginning to use the Smart Wallet as a very seamless, simple solution for transacting in a self-custody manner. And when people start to use the Coinbase Smart Wallet on a daily and weekly basis, as we get more retail adoption later in the bull cycle, obviously, given the fact that the Coinbase Smart Wallet is a Coinbase product and the fact that the Base network is also essentially a Coinbase product, Coinbase and the Coinbase Smart Wallet are definitely going to be pushing Base as the number one network they want people to use when they're going to be using the Coinbase Smart Wallet. And again, as a further downstream effect of all of those people using the Coinbase Smart Wallet and all of that additional inflow of capital into the Base ecosystem, the downstream effect is essentially more people using Aerodrome and more capital flowing into Aerodrome as a downstream effect of all of that happening. So that's one of the reasons why I am very bullish on Aerodrome specifically. Obviously, this is not financial advice, but again, if we jump over to Aerodrome in terms of price action and where we're sitting at in terms of the tokenomics and everything going on at the moment, we're currently sitting at an Aerodrome price of around 77 cents here at the end of July 2024. We've had a bit of a mixed month overall. We're pretty much sitting dead even here for the past month time frame. We did go as low as this 40 cents level before jumping back up to over $1.05 and retracing to 77 cents here now. Much of this dip here was driven by the fact that Bitcoin went all the way down to that 53, 54K level in the past few weeks. But if we zoom out on the overall time frame, we can see Aerodrome did get all the way up to a $2.28 price mark before retracing all the way back down to where we are today. Again, these prices were being put in around the same time when Bitcoin had made that big move to put in those all-time high prices of about $73,000 just prior to the halving. And with the correction coming in Bitcoin came a correction with most of the rest of the altcoins during that period. But Aerodrome is and does have some very strong fundamentals. We're seeing, increases in terms of total value locked. We're seeing more capital flowing into the protocol. And if we jump over to Uniswap and just look at what happened with Uniswap in terms of market cap in the previous cycle, Uniswap went all the way up above a 22 billion overall market cap. If we jump back to Aerodrome, we're currently sitting at a market cap of about 427 million. So again, with more capital flowing into the DeFi space this cycle, remember Uniswap, got all the way up to a 22 billion overall market cap in a cycle in 2021 where the entire crypto market cap peaked at around 2.9 trillion US dollars. In this coming cycle, or the cycle that we're involved in at the moment, we are anticipating that we get to a peak in terms of a bull cycle crypto overall market cap somewhere in the region of 6 to 9 trillion US dollars. So we're potentially looking at least a double the amount of overall market cap versus the peak of 2021. So for Aerodrome to get up to that kind of 20 billion US dollar level in terms of overall market cap is definitely not out of the question, given the fact that Uniswap went above 22 billion in the previous cycle, and this cycle we would be anticipating an overall crypto market cap, of at least double where we got to in 2021. Also the fact that DeFi solutions and DeFi protocols are more sophisticated, they're more user-friendly, and lend themselves to people being more easily able to add capital to those protocols, earn yields, do farming, do lending in a much more user-friendly manner. So the technology has come a long way in the past 4 years, making it easier for investors and people to allocate capital in different DeFi protocols, just like Aerodrome. And if we jump over to Aerodrome Finance itself, we can jump in and we can actually see some of the opportunities that, yield farmers and investors have to actually, deploy liquidity onto Aerodrome and earn very good yields as a result. We can see different stablecoin pairs that you can add liquidity to. Again, we've got 80+% APR here for certain trading pairs. We've got 22%. And if we jump over to DeFi Llama once again, actually what we've done here is we've gone into the pools for Aerodrome specifically. We've had filtered it for a minimum of a 1 million US dollar in terms of TVL, and we can see here that there's some very good APY. And we've even filtered this one specifically for stable coins. So you can see here that there is potential to even be staking and lending and supplying liquidity to stablecoin trading pairs on Aerodrome and actually be earning very, very good yields here. You can see, actually we're not filtered by stablecoins right now, but if we filter by stablecoins, you can see here you can be supplying liquidity to a stablecoin trading pair for USDZ and USDC here. There's over $37 million worth of capital already deployed in this particular stablecoin pool, and everyone in that pool is earning 23% yield year over year for having their capital deployed into that stablecoin trading pair. Again, you can see people are getting upwards of 38% on USDZ to USDZ, and people have deployed over 1.24 million into that particular trading pair. So this is the power of DeFi. People are able to earn these kinds of yields by supplying liquidity into Aerodrome, and you can earn very, very good yields as a result. Obviously, most of these yields are being incentivized by Aero and the rewards being paid out in Aero. Obviously, you can convert these to a stable coin at the time that you're earning them. You can reinvest them. You can continue to compound those gains and those earnings and put them back into the pool to continuously compound your earnings over time. But again, just showcasing Aerodrome and the potential of Aerodrome as a leading protocol within the entire DeFi space, obviously within the Ethereum ecosystem and the Base network, which has been seeing some excellent growth this year thus far. So again, I just wanted to make that case for Aerodrome, talk about why I think it's a very, very interesting project and why I do believe it is still undervalued in terms of the entire DeFi space in general. Of course, this is not financial advice, but if you did enjoy the video, please make sure to smash that thumbs up button below. Hit that subscribe button as well. And if you want to get notified about similar videos, smash that bell notification icon. And on your way out, please don't forget to grab your free copy of The Rise of Bitcoin. It's going to be linked in the description below. And as always, we will catch you in the next one.